Let me start with asking a very simple and very disruptive way. Was learning ever, did it ever belong to a classroom? If you go back to the early days of humankind, man was curious. He learned by two begins. Learned that he had to run away not to be eaten by a hiker. Where were a classroom? And then the first human being I'd never learned enough. Today will not be here. Take me get terrestrial. Thing was never expected to be in a class. Learning in some sense was supposed to be limitless and natural. Learning was through experience. Learning was by asking questions. And learning was by learning through curiosity. Learning started with people asking questions why. A child asking, why is the sky blue? Why do animals walk? Why do we need to run? We ask questions all the time. Learning started being infinite. And then the classrooms came. We invented classrooms to be able to do things at population scale. Literacy came, nation building came, standards evolved, and education got limited into a classroom. And we accepted this as a way over time that it has to be the way that learning happens. But learning was never supposed to be in the classroom. And curiosity, because of the way things got standardized, became bound by correctness rather than asking questions. Learning finally, with the age of AI, has got opportunity to break free. Learning was the way that we will transform. Things are changing at a speed where skills expire even before we understand the job description. New jobs today got created that were never there before, never envisioned before. Education is not today growing. Education is getting redefined, and skills are becoming the most important form of learning. From teachers to learning companions, I think there is a question that many ask with the coming of AI. What is the development of features in the age of AI? With teachers being replaced by AI. I think the question itself is fraud. I think it's an illusion. It is not so much a question on whether AI will be there. The teachers will get replaced by AI. With the coming of AI, the of knowledge has become boundless. If you need any information on any topic, it's available at a touch of a button. It's the mobile, available, vernacular, adaptive. What the human's brain is empathy. The human's brain is value discuss. The most important, the human's brain, the concept of a lived wisdom of experience. I have feel there, I have gone through it. And that is not something that you will get from care. And what does it mean for us? I think technology is allowing us to do the scale very personalized. And technology removes all the friction that's there in education systems. And what does it mean for teachers? With the boundless availability of knowledge, what it requires is discernment. The student needs to understand what paths to choose because paths are no more linear and they need to know where to they start. It's boundless ocean of knowledge. It's a path. Each of hence would start becoming companions, would become mentors. Teachers will be the one who will be the learning companion going into the future. Curiosity is infinite, and that's a recurring theme and I want to talk about. Online learning came because humans were curious. They asked questions. Children ask questions. And starting from as simple as saying, why is the sky blue? I'm not even sure, even today, we actually understand why the sky is blue. And these are questions that a child asks that can extremely engage. And that triggered knowledge because of infinite curiosity. Curiosity does not expire. If it is a professional, the professional is wanting to understand what should I do next to change my career. If it is somebody who has retired, think to know what should I do now to pick up an entrepreneur. And it is the child in a college who wants to understand what do I do next in terms of my next emerging career. If curiosity is going to expire, the point that is achievement. Unfortunately, for the way that our systems are reward, if there is a student who asks such question as to what is 2 plus 5, we are the ingrained to answer 7 and expect to score full mark in the year of evaluation. We are not being trained to be curious and ask courageous questions. If somebody says times 5 is 10, student most often repeats it and gives the right answer and expects to be rewarded. Not many students really ask, why is 2 times 5 10? And so, in some sense, our systems are evolved to reward correctness and not reward curiosity. And that's where the education systems are. The classrooms ends quite limited because of the education systems that are everywhere in every forum. We talk about billion consumers, the next billion people. In all perspectives today, India is at a tipping point. Not just the demographics that we have, not just the digital scale, which is truly unprecedented anywhere lower. India truly gone to world scale. What it also means in terms of education, we look different, we learn different things, and we choose many different non-linear paths to learn. Technology helps. As I said, it's now taken to population scale. It's adaptive. It's mobile plus, vernacular, can do everything that we need, and technology provides it. Learners today know share classroom, share ecosystem, and that's the evolution that has happened. What it means from the Indian context, well, access has come to technology. India needs outcomes. And if we don't have outcomes, access without outcome is just plain noise. And we need to be able to use and reimagine our learning system to provide outcomes. If we have to generate all the next billion learners in India, scale below soar. I am someone who enjoys building things at scale because scale is very selective. I put up metrics looks very interesting. A growth curve that goes not down hockey sticks is very powerful. But scale without a stone becomes very mechanical, especially in the. And if it's all about soul without scale, then there is really not much of an impact that we will create. Hence, I think the real question is not so much about how fast something can be learned, but how deeply can we transform. That becomes the fundamental question. So classrooms are no more about building courses, but it is about building confidence in people. And that changes the life trajectory of people. What does the next divide mean? How do we redefine? As I keep saying, skills are becoming most important. Degrees are important, skills are a lot more important today. And the key is that nor are we part of learn. Education had defined and segmented the learning path in terms of skill, in terms of curricula, in terms of location. We are today used to teaching that at the age of 6, we go for a standard. At the age of 16, we go to a junior college and we stop learning because it's efficient for us to optimally work. That's the mindset that for to change because that's not the mindset in which learning evolved fundamentally. So, in some sense, we need to look at learning as lifelong, as continuous, and very dynamic. And learning happens throughout our life. The regimenting it based on age, locations, based on content, based on time, vanishing. And what has happened today is the institutions are now becoming platforms. The classrooms are becoming ecosystems. And what does the war is no more is the institution at the center of learning. The learner who is now at the center. And education has to adapt along the learner. And that's how the next debate is redefining education. No walls, no finish lines. For me, that's tough to digest. Having run multiple marathons to run to a finish line. And so suddenly know that there is no finish line and no exit. And that means that's sort of where it is evolving. Not just no finish line. There is no fixed spaces for learning. You don't come to a crossroad to learn anymore. You can learn anywhere and technology has made that possible. And learning is continuous. Okay? It's going to be a way in which learning does evolve has to adapt to the learner's requirement and use the teacher as a learning companion, as a mentor. And it sort of goes back to where I started. Learning really is a finite platform. It began with curiosity. Human being asked questions and learned fire. They learned the wheel, learned the first iron equipment. And there were no classrooms where the first human beings ever learned. We always learn by observing, we learn by questioning, and we learn by trying and failing, and we work as a people. Institutions have organized education for multiple purposes. The institutions organize education so nations can be made literate, can evolve standards, and as a group, we grow at population scale and speed. What has happened is today is lifelong, that learning is continuous, not bound by age, not bound by time, not bound by skills. The question always is knowing how deeply can I transform and not how fast I learn. It's not about how much you know, but how fast can you learn has become the core concept behind learning. And in some sense, education has evolved to a way of thinking. Your philosophy is aligned to continuous lifelong learning, where the education has to adapt to the learner and not really the other way around, where the learner has to adapt to a fixed education rigor and platform. All of us are very there. And I think we are improving education, but we will truly have a way to reimagine education. Thank you for your question. Okay.